And the truth is, I haven't been vegan 100% of the time. I have messed up. And if you don't even want to call it a mess up, I've purposely eaten things that aren't vegan. I've purposely eaten things that aren't vegan. I've purposely eaten things that aren't vegan.
We got a good one today, guys. BuzzFeed's vegan influencer, Goodful, Merle O'Neil. We all know who she is. She makes all these nice vegan meals that you see online. They're great. You know, she's spreading a lot of vegan meals. She's spreading the vegan love, spreading the vegan lifestyle, getting the message out there to a lot more people, which is why I subscribe to her channel. But the recent video that I saw her upload and the title of it was enough to make me just think, what has gotten into this girl's head? And her video's title, Why I Think It's Okay to Be a Cheating Vegan. Now, if you're an ethical vegan like me, you already know why this is a really, just not very bright in the head statement. I mean, you might as well just upload a video saying why I think it's okay to be a cheating non-racist or a cheating non-sexist or, just a cheating non-homophobic, right? No, it's only okay to say the N-word. Just call the N-word to a black person. Just sometimes, sometimes it just slips out and you gotta say the word to a black person, or just sometimes you just gotta put that animal in your mouth, Just cheat sometimes, And we can't judge people for that. We can't judge people for their choices, even though it's unethical to others, but it's not unethical to us. So why judge us for that? Huh?
I feel like vegetarianism and veganism are treated the most like a lifestyle or like a club. It's kind of like this exclusive thing that really becomes part of your identity. When you tell people, when you meet somebody else who's vegan, you're like, oh my God, me too. I understand the struggles and all the things. There is this sort of judgy vegan stereotype that I have found to be both true and not true depending on the vegan. But there is certainly a little part of it where people who are vegan can feel like they own a bit of a moral high ground.
Our lifestyle contributes the least amount of harm to animals and the environment. So yes, by definition, we do have a higher moral ground.
Above pescatarians, omnivores, vegetarians even. And I understand how annoying that is for people that are not vegan and that feel judged.
Regardless of how annoying you think that is, it's just true. But if that's annoying to you, then you should align your actions with your morals and go vegan.
And I can also understand that on the vegan side, because I've been practicing veganism for a while now, and I have to admit that I've had the thoughts sometimes. I've had the judgy thoughts. I'm not gonna lie to you people. People ask me all the time if I judge other people for eating meat, and I say no, because I used to eat meat, which is true. I did. I love meat. I love the taste of meat.
I won't ever judge a person for eating animals, because I always did. I'm gonna give them facts. I'm gonna tell them this, and that. And if they don't go vegan from there or give it a try and just do it in the future, then I'm going to say, okay, well, you're just not a very good person or not a very caring person. Because a lot of people who do have the ability to go fully vegan just don't. They just don't want to because I guess, is not convenient to them or whatever. And those people are just classified as less ethical. Simple, right?
I've had thoughts. I've had those thoughts go through my head because being vegan isn't always easy. You have to work a little harder. You have to say no to things that are delicious. And with the world imploding and all, it feels like being more plant-based or going vegan is more something we do for the planet. So I've definitely had the thoughts in my mind where it's like,
why don't people care about the environment enough to cut back on meat intake? I know cheese is delicious. Trust me, I know cheese is delicious. But the dairy industry is absolutely terrifying. It's worse than any scary movie you've ever seen, and maybe even worse than the meat industry.
Why don't more people care?
I know I've kind of made a path for myself as like a chill vegan, but ask anyone who's close to me, I have my moments. But what's more important is that having those judgmental thoughts and getting angry at other people for not being vegan really isn't fair, because the vegan lifestyle is not affordable, attainable, or accessible to everyone equally.
So now Merle is making it seem like there's this thing that makes veganism like not as accessible, or just some people can't do it. But if you look at the process of which these items are made, animals have to be bred, they have to have all this land, they have to have all this food to feed them, which requires more plant crops to death, when we could just be using those plant crops in general to be growing food for us in the first place. Which is why there's so much world hunger in those third world countries, because all of their food, guess what? It's being grown for livestock. Animals eat 70% of the produce grown in America. Literally, 70% of all of it goes to feed livestock because we want to eat those livestock when we could just be using those crops to feed us in the first place. And yet here she is making these claims that, it's not as accessible. It's not as accessible because they're putting our taxpayers' dollars towards meat, dairy, egg products. They don't want to put it towards vegan products.
The most important thing we can do is to try to make a plant-based diet more accessible to more people. Try to make fresh fruit and vegetables accessible to more people. That is as much an act in veganism as eating a vegan meal, because it should be 100% fair and it should be equally accessible to all people.
We should also be fighting for factory farm workers, fighting for humane conditions for farm workers.
As much as I want to, I cannot sympathize for factory farm workers because I myself would never be able to do a job like that regardless of the situation. I don't think money is that important. To take the lives of that many sentient beings a day and to call that a job, it's just absolutely disgusting to me. I don't care if it's a human, it's just absolutely disgusting to me. And it's not something I could support or have any sympathy for anyone doing that.
There are a lot of things we can do to make the world a better place. And it's more complicated than simply you're vegan or you're not. And of course, don't get me wrong, I know there are people that could, of course, afford and access a vegan lifestyle, but choose not to. As frustrating as that might be, it's their choice. At the end of the day, they have the right to eat what they want.
Yeah, well, it's not against the law to eat meat, so you're right, it is their choice, but it's also not against the law to, be racist to someone and, call them the N-word. Is it? Nah, it's not against the law because I've been called it multiple times and nothing has happened. So I guess Merle is saying that it's okay to be racist, it's okay to be a speciesist and harm animals and call black people the N-words because, at the end of the day, it's their choice.
Factory farming, however, is unnatural, is horrible for the environment, it is horrible for the animals, and it's not good for the people that work in those factories either. So for that reason, here comes my chill vegan vibe again. I don't have as much against people that hunt for their own food. I think that it is a more honest way to confront whatever you're eating, and you're fully immersed in the process. You actually kill the animal and you use every part of it. There's a lot less waste there and it feels more natural to me. So I don't have as much of an issue with that. That falls kind of more into the not for me, but do you category. And I know some people that are vegan, that makes you want to crawl up a wall and twirl your head around like The Exorcist, but that's just how I feel. If you're gonna eat meat, that's kind of the most natural way to do it.
So Merle's trying to claim that hunting is natural now, and grabbing a man-made weapon made by humans to kill other people and other animals is natural. But what other species out of the entire animal kingdom needs man-made weapons to kill their prey? Only humans. So what should that tell you? Maybe we're not natural predators or not natural carnivores. Maybe we just weren't meant to eat animals. I mean, there's fungi that feed on dead animals. Dead animals literally turn into the soil, but you're taking that entire animal away from its habitat when you're hunting, and you're taking that animal away and just for yourself when you could literally just have a veggie burger. So there's a lot of organisms that literally thrive on these dead animals in nature. It's not just, this one animal is eating it, but there's other scavengers even after that animal has eaten it. Whereas if you're killing an animal, you're hunting it and you're taking it back home. So what is exactly natural about killing an animal and taking them from that habitat, which many organisms rely on? Flies eat dead, thrive on dead bodies after days and days, ants, tons of organisms, and ants, which we could not survive without. Ants are very important to humans as well as bees. If bees died out, say goodbye to your little Instagram or your little YouTube influencer thing or your little food, because your food wouldn't exist. Do you even realize how much one dead animal would help nature and its surroundings versus you just taking it home and using it for yourself? And you think that's cool to support that as an ethical vegan? Merle, you're canceled by me. I'm unsubscribing from your channel. I'm deeply offended as an ethical vegan.
Now that I've gotten a few people really angry, let's talk about cancel culture, because it is a real thing. And especially if you sit at the vegan influencer table at lunch on the internet. People's careers have been destroyed. They receive hate mail and death threats, all because they've been caught cheating.
Yes, their careers have been destroyed because veganism isn't a career. It's not just some little thingy to build a career on. No, it's for animal rights. It's an animal rights movement. If you can't accept that, then you're simply not vegan. you simply never understood veganism in the first place.
When they say they're vegan, someone will see them out at a restaurant, or they come out to the internet saying they're not vegan anymore. And of course, don't get me wrong, if you're out there preaching that veganism is the only way and everyone should be 100% vegan and there's no excuse, and then you're caught like eating a steak, yeah, that's not a good look. But everybody's different. Everybody should have the freedom of choice.
Oh, look at that. Everybody should have the freedom of choice. You know, abuse animals if you want to. Just don't abuse me, because, you know, that's not your freedom of choice. It's abusing me. Whereas you're abusing an animal, it's still your freedom of choice, because it's just a stupid animal, right? Not my logic, Merle's logic.
And in fact, some people have legitimate health reasons why they can't be 100% vegan, and I think we should all respect that.
I'm still waiting. I've heard a lot of people say this, and I'm still been waiting for this magical condition that doesn't allow people to not consume meat, dairy, or eggs. I'm still waiting to hear it. What is it, guys? What is this magical condition that doesn't allow people to be vegan? Tell me.
So it's okay to be disappointed in people who decide not to be vegan anymore, but it's not okay to be cruel. We're supposed to be cruelty-free. You're probably wondering, what is this rambling message video? Where is this headed? What are you saying? Are you gonna become a hunter? Are you gonna like live in the woods wearing animal skulls? No. Basically what I wanna do is be open about my experience around veganism. And the truth is, I haven't been vegan 100% of the time. I have messed up. And if you don't even wanna call it a mess up, I've purposely eaten things that aren't vegan. I've purposely eaten things that aren't vegan. I've purposely eaten things that aren't vegan. I've purposely eaten things that aren't vegan.
Pause. Pause. What did you just say? You've been purposely eating non-vegan products ever since practicing veganism or calling yourself vegan online, and you just came clean about that? You're purposely eating animals? Purposely? Knowing that it's harmful to the environment? The animals have to get killed and have a knife shoved into their throat and then chopped up into pieces and be served in a restaurant? And you just, and you promote yourself as a vegan online? You have the audacity to promote yourself as a vegan online? And check this like to dislike ratio. 4K likes and only 100 dislikes? Well, there's no point in even making this video at this point. Well, she's not vegan. She just admitted that she eats animal products, so she's not even vegan. You just came on video and exposed yourself. What the? And nobody calls this out? You can't be vegan or a non-racist by saying you purposely say the N-word while saying you're against it. You can't be vegan while saying you're against animal cruelty or whatever, and then you're saying you eat animal products from time to time. There's no point even watching the rest of her videos. She just admitted that she's not vegan. Well, just like I assumed, it's all for the publicity. That's all these white vegans care about, man. Fuck it.